I'm Allison Naney with Cascade Endurance, and we're going to talk about downhill running. I love downhill running, so it's one of my favorite things to help people with, and it's really pretty simple. The biggest thing that you want to do is look ahead of you and keep your center of gravity over your feet. So as the terrain gets steeper, our tendency is to slide back here, but then when you do that, you're actually taking traction away from your feet, so that can be why you might feel like you're sliding. And it's really hard to get hip extension. So hip extension is what gives us our power. Got to use those glutes that we have. And then the other thing is cadence. So we have another video on cadence specifically, but the reason it's so important with downhill is because you have way more force when you're going downhill coming through your body than when you're going on uphills. And so if you land way out in front of you on a downhill, if you hit something that makes you turn, you're more likely to injure yourself because you're spending more time on that foot. But also, then you're basically doing a squat as you move down the hill versus just letting gravity help you go. So as much as you can, envision your inner child, that you're just running free down a hill, have no worries in the world, and just look far ahead of you. And your brain is constantly picking up the terrain, so you don't need to look right down at your feet. Just as I do that, you can see what happens to my hips. When I look down at my feet, my hips go back. So then I'm already kind of in the back seat. So what we're wanting to do is to be up over our feet. It might feel a little bit vulnerable, but as long as you're taking quick steps, even if you start to roll, you're already quickly onto the other foot, and you can have some really awesome saves on the trail. So I'll show what it looks like first to be overstriding, and just take a look at where my hips are, and then I'll do one where take a quicker stride. So that felt pretty sketchy, and I'm not used to doing that. And I'm glad I'm not used to doing that, because no wonder people don't like downhills. So this time, I'm gonna stay nice and upright. It's a lot easier to engage my core when I'm nice and upright as well. So if you think about in yoga, when you have mountain pose, where you're pushing through the ground, yet also lifting, that's kind of our starting point. And then you can just lean forward So that didn't feel any jarring. I was able to navigate the terrain very easily. You can pick your line much better that way because you're looking far enough ahead that your body has time to react. So I'll do that one more time. And the other thing is that you can also feel your hip flexors. You want to feel your hip flexors have a little bit of a stretch. We want to be forward enough that you feel that ultimate, just the length in the front of the hips, because that is going to give then you know that you're using your glutes, okay? So I'm just running down, picking my line. And you can roll an ankle and it doesn't even matter because you're quickly on the other foot.